MLA Cleanroom walkthrough training video. This is a gunning room for Cleanroom 313. If you need to work in Cleanroom, you need to enter this gunning room firstly to wear the Cleanroom gun. Swipe your iCard. This should have the green light. And then you could open the door to enter inside. Every user go to the gunning area, the first thing you need to log in on this computer. So here you use your user ID, and here it's for the password. Click sign in. You should find your information here. I posted the procedure how to wear the Cleanroom gun here. You could follow this one to wear your Cleanroom gun. The blue shoe covers are here. Gloves are here. One for small size, two for the medium size, two for the large size, one for the extra large size. The blue phone caps are here. Face masks and face wheels are here. And now I will wear the Cleanroom gun. Firstly, I got the blue shoe cover. Because I have the long hair, I still need to wear the buffon. The buffon is optional one. And then we wear the gloves. There have two types of the gloves. One is this green one is this gray one. Due to COVID-19, we have the two supplies for our gloves. And the green one is a little thinner than the gray one. So if you wear the green one, you feel it's not as easy for you to operate. And with the double layers, you can wear the one layer. But for the gray one, you must wear the two layers for your work. And next, wear the hood. The hood is a one-size item. You can purchase this one from the MRL storeroom. And then wear the coverall. For the coverall, there have size from the medium to the 2 extra large. Remember to choose your suitable size for you to wear. You open it and put your leg in first. Remember to have the back of your hood is also inside the Cleanroom gun. Next, wear the booties. So this is also one size item. You can tie around and to front here. And then wear the safety glasses. This one you can also purchase from the storeroom, so there have the front and side protection. And then I will wear the double gloves. Make sure you put the thumb loop there. And put your second pair of gloves to the outside of your Cleanroom gun. Okay, so now we are ready. Go to the working area for clean work. Optical lithography bay lab 388 walkthrough. When you enter clean working area, 388 is the first room. During COVID-19, we allowed maximum 2 users working inside this room. And also users need to reserve the lab space before they work inside it. This lab is mainly for optical lithography, including the 2 spin coater fume hood. Each of fume hood is equipped with spin coater and hot plate for spinning and soft bake. For expose and alignment, there are 3 MG3 mask liner, 1 MG4 mask liner, and also Heidelberg MLA Maskless Writer for direct lithography. In this lab, we also provided the HMDS vacuum oven for our cleanroom users. It could be used for coating HMDS on sample surface before the regular spinning to improve adhesion. And firstly, you need to find cleaning supplies, and when you enter the lab, these supplies are inside the plastic bin on the pressure table. We provide 70% ethanol, wipe, and also plastic wrap for your cleaning. And the cleaning instructions also posted near the supplies bin. Please follow it to do the cleaning before and after process. And we need your help to keep our clean room safe and clean. Next, we will talk about facility one by one in details. Spin coater fume hood. There are 2 spin coater fume hood in Lab 38. This is number 1, this is number 2. No matter which fume hood you are working with inside the clean room, the first and the most important thing to check the flow meter of the fume hood. Make sure the green light is turned on, and there's no red light, no alarm. If you hear the alarm from the fume hood area, please leave the cleanroom immediately and report it to staff. It may be related to the building exhaust light issue or the fume hood exhaust light issue. Staff will check it and will let user know when it is safe for the user go back to cleanroom for the operation. For the spin coater fume hood in the main lab, there are spin coater and also hot plate inside it. This is number 1 fume hood. We provide 1 spin coater, and also we provide the 1 hot plate for our users. And this one is number 2 hood. We provide 1 spin coater and 2 hot plate inside it. Let's start from number 1 hood. For the spinning process, please place a clean aluminum foil inside it before and after process. This will collect all the extra PR or the polymer during your process. It's easy for you to clean the spinner bowl and after process. Next, you could put your spinner chart, put your sample there, set your recipe through your controller, and dispense the PR or the polymer on your sample surface. Use this foot switch to control start or stop your process. Usually staff will give you training on the spin coater when you attend the training on the mask liner or the Heidelberger. After process, please remember to clean the spin coater arc and wrap the aluminum foil, no PR spill bottom, the whole of foil, and post the vented chest can, which is near the fume hood. And for the vented chest can in the main clean room, it has the exhaust slide attached to it. We know the PR polymer have the strong fume, and this will let all the fume go through this exhaust pipe to the outside, not inside our clean room. And make sure do not leave any PR polymer solvent soaked materials like aluminum foil, peptide, or the wipe into the regular chest can. It may have the strong fumes inside our clean room. So let's open it now and check inside. So you could dispose of your PR polymer solvent soaked materials into it like this way. And when you dispose of this trash after your spinning process, do not wrap your aluminum foil. You may have some of the droplets on the floor like these ones. Please remember always wrap it first and then dispose it inside the vented chest can. And when these residues are dry, it will be very difficult for the staff to clean them. So please always follow the procedure and for your spinning, and also clean the residues if they have any spill or droplets during your work. And next, we will talk about the hot plate usage. For the hot plate in the fume hood number 1, we set temperature at 110. Please do not turn it off. This is most temperature user use for the soft bake. If you need the other temperature to bake your sample, we have the other plates in the fume hood number 2. For the left one, and turn the power on first, and then turn the heater on. And now you could set your temperature. So first the digit, this for the decrease, and this is for the increase, and go to next digit, and also choose decrease, increase to set it, and the last digit, and then press enter. It will start heating up. Wait, it is stable, and you could place your sample on top of it for your process. And when your process finished, press the heater off, and then press the power off to turn it off. For the right one, and you just need to rotate this wheel to the number you need, and wait it is stable, and you could place your sample on top of it for your process. When your process is completed, please turn it off. And when you work with spin coater fume hood 2, you could dispose of your trash into this vented trash can, which you can find near the spin coater fume hood number 2. This is also equipped with exhaust pipe. It will help us to get all the fumes go to the outside. And also before you leave, please leave the hood shield to the lower position. We also post the SOP and the safety notes of the spin coater and SOP of the fume hood on the wall near the hood number 1. And in case you forgot how to set up the recipe, you could use this as a reference. And when you work with spin coater, please do not put any solvent into spinner. Always clean the spinner chalk with wipe and solvent after your process. And for PDMS or other sticky materials process, discuss with staff before your usage. Report to staff if you find there's any issue during your work. And we'll be here help you on your process. And this SOP for the fume hood, and you could always check it and before you process with any fume hood in the clean room. So like from this SOP, so you will know how to check the flow meter and how to know the fume hood is safe or not safe for your usage. So this is very important when you work with a fume hood. If you have any empty PR polymer bottles, and we have like the several area you can collect them, please rinse them with a solvent. Dispose of the waste to the appropriate solvent waste container and rinse them with the water for 3 times, and then cap it. And open the cabinet door and dispose it to the one of this trash bin here. So now we can open it, so you can find there have the trash bin and the plastic bag. You can leave them inside it. And also same for this area. And there is a supplies rack near the spin coater area which provide all the supplies you need for the spinning process. You could get one-time use plastic pipette to transfer the chemical from your chemical bottle to the sample surface. This one are the one-time use item. Please dispose of them after usage. And also do not use them for other chemical work like the developing, like the cleaning, like the other wet etching process. And from this bin, you could get a spinner chalk. We provide a small size, we provide a medium size, and also we provide a large size for our users. Please choose a appropriate chalk according to your sample size, and make sure your sample could cover all the hole and the grooves. Otherwise, if like this way, your PR will go through these grooves and to block the vacuum line. And also please think during your spinning process, if it suddenly loses vacuum, your sample may fly out and break into pieces. Even worse, it may hurt user and near this area. So before you put this spinner chalk on, please double check the backside, make sure there has the O-ring. If not, we provide some of the backup O-ring in the bin. Please find one and put it inside. So this will be helpful for you to get good vacuum during your spinning process. Next being, I leave some large gloves here, so always check your gloves before you touch other place. Make sure your gloves there's no residues on top of it. If have some residue, please replace it. Otherwise, you may transfer the PR residue everywhere. And last thing, we have some of the clean wipe here, and you could place one sheet of clean wipe underneath your chemical bottle. In case there are droplets or some small spill around it, it's easy for you to clean the hood surface. If there's not enough peptide, you could find more from the plex bin and on the bottom shelf. So if during the weekend at night, and you can also find it there and for your usage. For aluminum foil, you could find it from the preparation table, and you could use it to cover the spinner bowl, cover the hot plate, or if you need to transfer your sample, you can also cover your wafer container. Next, we will talk about the mask liner. There are MG3 and MG4 inside our clean room. For MG3 mask liner, we have number 1, number 2, and number 3. Staff will train you on MG3 number 1. After the training session, you could use all of them for your process. You could find the SOP near the tool. In case you forgot how to use it after your training session, you could also follow the SOP for your process. And here have another copy of the SOP near the number 3. This is MG4 mask liner. If you need to work on it, you need additional training. Both MG3 and MG4, you need a photo mask to pattern your PR. Maximum the mask size is 3 inch for our tools. And you could contact cleanroom staff on the mask fabrication. The wavelength of the UV cells is 365 nanometers for both machines. And you could achieve 2 micrometer minimum feature size for your pattern, and the minimum alignment size of MG4 could go down to 1 micrometer. If you do not want to make the photo mask, you want to direct write your pattern, and you have another option in our clean room. So you could use another tool, which is called the Heidelberg MLA 150 Maskless Writer. This tool is a high-speed direct write lithography tool. Sample sizes ranges from the 5 mm up to 6-inch wafer. You could load the sample inside the tool and vacuum it, load your pattern file on the computer. It could produce structures down to 800 nanometers. This will also depend on your photoresist thickness and your recipe optimization. So like you need to have a proper exposed dose. After you set your recipe, it will run the exposure or the alignment automatically. We also provided the HMDS vacuum oven in our clean room. HMDS is one type of adhesion promoter. It could improve adhesion between your PR and the sample surface. This tool could help coat a thin layer of HMDS on your sample surface, and then you could spin your PR on top of it. So you could wear the protective gloves to open the door and put your sample inside it, and close the door carefully, and then press the start button. Because they already have the auto recipe loaded in this machine, it will run the process automatically. When it is completed, the yellow light will be turned on, and you could press the reset button and then open the door to unload your sample from the chamber. The temperature of this tool is set to the 100 degrees. Please do not leave any Scotch tape, any plastic wafer container, wipes, or other low-melting materials inside it. Otherwise, it will have a very bad burning smell in the whole clean room. If there's an issue during your work, please report it to staff and do not try to fix the machine and by yourself. Next, we will talk about where you could prepare your sample and how to dispose of your non-chemical waste after your work. You could easily find this table in the middle of the room. It could be used for preparing your sample and also temporarily storing your personal items during your work. For the non-contaminated non-chemical waste, you could put them in the regular chest can, one in the left side, one in the right side. For the sharps, you need to dispose of them into the sharp container, which is underneath the table. We have a 2-gallon red sharp container in our clean room. And also for the wafers or the glass slide coated with metals, you need to dispose of them into the wafer container, which is also underneath the table. It is a white bucket with a solid cover. If you are not sure which atoms need to go to shop container, and you could find instructions on the table, this will tell you which can go to shop container, which cannot go to shop container. And for the PDMS and PMMA coated glass slide, clear glass slide, and you could dispose of them to the shop container. And there are also the several safety rules you need to follow and when you use this table. So like when you use some Scotch tape, please remember to dispose of them after your work. Do not leave them on the table surface. And also, when you have some like the chemicals bottles, you temporarily put it there, and also remember after your work, put them back to the chemical cabinet and keep the door closed. And do not store any personal atoms on this table. If you want to store them, please store them on the shelf, which is have that storage shelf on the hallway of clean room. And or you could bring them when you leave the clean room. Please remember to always keep this work table clean and clear after your work. In order to make our users' lithography work easier here, we provided the fridge in Lab 388. If your photoresist or polymer need low temperature storage, you could store them in the fridge. And remember for the chemical bottles, these open or the porous containers are not allowed in our clean room because it may have the fumes inside the fridge. It will be also very dangerous if we inhale too much fumes from the photoresist. And make sure your chemical is approved by the cleanroom staff and also have the clear label on it. If you do not have label, we have some labels here. So if you need it, and you can get it here, so feel free to get one label from these folders here and label your chemical bottles. So this will make sure you know your chemical bottle, and also when we do that the chemical inventory check, we also know what chemical inside your bottles. So let's open the fridge now. We have several shelves for the user to store their PR. You could store from 1 ounce bottle up to 1 gallon bottle inside the fridge. Every time when you close the door, please make sure your gloves is clean. If not, it may have transfer residue everywhere. AZ5140 you purchase from storeroom, you can directly store it in the fridge. For other chemicals, please submit your chemical request online firstly. When you receive the approval from staff, you could bring it into the clean room. After every usage, please keep outside of your bottle clean. Do not store any dirty chemical bottle in fridge. If there's not enough space for you to store your PR polymer in fridge, you could also store it in this yellow flammable cabinet in 388. This cabinet is also available to store solvent or developer inside it. Last topic, we want to talk about humidity and temperature meter. You could find it near the door of Lab 388. Please check the humidity level before your litho work. If it is very high, like it is over 70%, it may affect your parameters for litho. If it happens, so please reschedule litho work for the repeatable results. Sample cleaning and developing bay, Lab 384 walkthrough. Next to Lab 388 is Lab 384. This lab is mainly for the sample cleaning and developing, including 2 fume hoods, one for the solvents, another one for the developers. Each of them is equipped with DA water, with nitrogen gun, and also related to the waste container. So we usually have the waste container inside the fume hood. We also have some the backup waste container in the cabinet, which is underneath the fume hood. It's similar for the developer fume hood. We also provide the chemicals in the yellow cabinet, which is next to the developer fume hood, which is including the solvents, acetone, IPA, AZ40 stripper, SU8 developer, and also developers, AZ970 developer, and AZ400K developer. In this lab, we also provide the microscope for our cleanroom users to check the surface of the cleaning or patterns after the lithography process. During the COVID-19, we have some special safety rules for the cleanroom work, including the 2 users maximum in each lab. It's also including the 384. We limited the maximum 2 users inside it. Users need to always wear the face mask and reserve the lab space before they work inside it, and also need to clean the working area before and after process and keep the safe distance between each other. And now we will talk about the safety rules you need to follow when you work in this lab. Firstly, you need to find the cleaning supplies when you enter the lab. So these supplies inside the plastic bin on the table, and we provided 70% in ethanol and a wipe and also plastic wrap. So you can follow that procedure to do the cleaning before and after your process. Next, we will talk about the facility one by one in details. Let's start from solvent fume hood. This solvent fume hood is for user to clean the sample surface before the spinning process, do the lift-off process to get metal patterns, or other solvent process. The first and the most important thing to check the flow meter of the fume hood, which is also on the right of this fume hood. Make sure the green light is turned on, there's no red light, there's no alarm. If you hear the alarm from this fume hood area, please remember to leave the clean room immediately and report to the staff. And when you receive the email from staff, it is safe, and then you can come back to clean room for your work. You could work with acetone, IPA, methanol, ethanol, AZ400 stripper as a developer or other fab-approved solvents in this fume hood. Here we provide 2 acetone wash bottles, 2 IPA wash bottles. Please remember to collect this chemical waste in the beakers during your cleaning. Dispose this waste in this waste container here. And do not spring any solvents down the drain. Besides acetone, IPA, you could also dispose of SU8 developer waste inside it. Please check the label before you dispose it inside it. If you're not sure, check with staff. You could open the cap, put the funnel inside it, and then dispose of your solvent waste in it, and then rinse the funnel, put it back, keep it capped after usage. If the waste container is full at night or during the weekends, no staff working here, please dispose of your chemical waste in the backup waste containers, which are stored in the cabinet underneath the solvent fume hood. For the left side, there are 2 backup waste containers for the non-halogenated solvent waste container. And for the right side, there are 2 AZ400 stripper waste containers, front one for the in-use one, and back one for the backup waste container. If you need to rinse your beaker or sample with DI water, the switch for the DI water is on the right of the fume hood. After you kick the switch, DI water will be running for 30 seconds and stop automatically. You could rotate here, adjust the water flow, make sure not to splash everywhere and during your cleaning. And there is also equipped with water gun for the cleaning the surface. The nitrogen gun you can use to dry in your sample. We also provide ultrasonic station in clean room, which is on the supplies rack. You could put ultrasonic station in this fume hood, plug it here or here, and fill it with the water first, and then leave your chemical beaker inside it. Put your sample in your chemical beaker and for your process. Please remember to leave this ultrasonic station to the back of the fume hood. Make sure the fumes not released to the users during your process. And also remember to return the ultrasonic station back to supplies rack after your usage. Next, we will talk about the developer fume hood. Please also check the flow meter of fume hood firstly. Make sure the green light turned on, no red light, no alarm. You could work with AZ400K developer, AZ97MIF developer, or other fab-approved base type developer in this fume hood. We provided the developer waste container in the fume hood, left one for the non-TMA developer waste, which is 6 liter or 10 liter container, right one for TMH containing developer waste, which is 1 gallon container. If you work with 400K developer, dispose your waste in the left one. We could open the cap, put funnel inside it, and then dispose your waste inside it. Rinse the funnel, put it back, keep it capped after usage. If you work with nano-strip developer, use right one, open the cover, dispose of your waste inside it, then cap it after usage. Please check the label before you dispose of your chemical waste inside it. If you are not sure which one you need to use, please check with cleanroom staff before your usage. If the waste container is full at night or during weekends, no staff working here, please dispose of your chemical waste in the back waste container, which are stored in the cabinet underneath the developer fume hood. For the left side, there are backup waste containers for the non-TMH developer waste. For the right side, there are 2 backup TMH developer waste containers. Here we also have the instructions for developer waste disposal. If you could not remember the details, you could always check these instructions here and make sure you know the appropriate waste container for your developer waste. If you need to rinse your beaker or sample with DI water, the switch for DI water is on the right side of this hood. After you click the switch, DI water will be running for 30 seconds and stop automatically. You could rotate here to adjust the water flow and make sure not to splash everywhere during your cleaning. And there's also equipped with a water gun for clean the surface. The etching gun here could be used to dry your sample and after your developing process. On the left side of this hood, we posted a safety reminder for TMH containing chemical usage, such as AZ97 Please remember read it carefully before your usage. If you have small amount developer spill inside the fume hood, please alert others nearby to warn them of the spill. And here we provided the base neutralizer spin bottle. This is the details and how to use this liquid base neutralizer to treat the developer spill in the developer fume hood. Firstly, you need to warn other users in the same lab and do not touch that area and wear appropriate safety PPE, including like that the face shield, like the apron, gloves, and the booties, and prepare that absorbent pad. And firstly, spray this neutralizer or pour a little neutralizer to your developer spill in the fume hood, and you may find the color will change from red to blue. That means it's during that neutralization. And then you apply a little more neutralizer to your chemical spill, you will find that color will change to yellow. And then you allow that neutralized liquid to cool and soak up with that absorbed materials and put those materials into the yellow bag or the heavy-duty trash bag. And then use the water rinse the surface to dry the surface and put all these materials also to that yellow bag or the heavy-duty bag. And then tie this bag and put it back to the developer fume hood, to the back of the developer fume hood, and then report to staff. And staff will help you dispose it through the DRS. So if there have a large chemical spill, large developer spill in the fume hood, you are not able to deal with the chemical spill, it's fine. Report to staff, that staff will help you, but do not do to hide that chemical spill. Next to the developer fume hood is the yellow chemical cabinet, number 3242. You could get the MicroFab approved solvents and developers inside this cabinet. Here we have acetone, IPA, SU8 developer, AZ97 developer, AZ400K developer, backup for the 400K, backup for 497 and AZ400T stripper. Here also have some user supplied the chemicals and the chemical waste container. After usage, return the chemical bottle back to the cabinet and keep the cabinet door closed. Here is the supplies rack near to solvent fume hood. You could get the large wipes, small wipes, best squeeze, chemical use labels, which you could use this and when you need to leave your chemical beaker inside the fume hood, fill up this label, put it near to your beaker, put them to the back side of the fume hood. And the best squeeze, you can use this one to clean the surface. And next up, we provided a small, medium, large, extra large size gloves and for to replace inside the lab. And here we have ultrasonic station. You could use this one for your cleaning or lift off. Just remember to put it back after usage. And the bottom shelf has the hot plate. You could use this one to heat up your chemicals in this lab. We also provided a microscope in this lab, and you could check your patterns after developing or check your surface after the cleaning process. Next, we will talk about where you could prepare your sample and how to dispose of your non-chemical waste after your work. You could easily find the table in the middle of the room. It could be used for prepare sample and temporarily storing your personal items during your work. We have the same safety rules as this in the Lab 388. For the non-contaminated non-chemical waste, you could put them in this regular chest can, which are near the table. For the sharps, you need to dispose them into sharp container, which is underneath the table. We also have those wafer container, which is next to the sharp container. And you can check these procedures, which is posted on this table, and if you cannot remember the details. This cabinet is for staff to store new chemicals inside it. Do not directly grab the chemicals from this cabinet. For the safety equipment, we provided the first aid kit, which is on the top shelf of supplies rack. And here we have the safety award station. If you have the chemicals in your eyes or on your face, please force your eyes open, push the bar here. There will have the water from both sides, and rinse your eyes for 15 to 20 minutes. And then close it and push the cover back. If you have the chemical splash on your whole clean gun, you need to stand underneath this shower head and pull this handle. There will have water from top. Rinse your clean gun and take it off, rinse it again. And we also have the dredge hose here. You could grab it out and to rinse, have some chemicals on your arm, and open the cover, press it here, and rinse it. And when you finish your rinse, you release it, put it back, and put the cover back. And if you want to wash your hands in Cleanroom, and here we provide the hand soap here. And then wash your hands here. As the etching bay, Lab 359 walks through. This lab is mainly for acid etch process, including 3 fume hoods: HFBOE fume hood, Nano-strip fume hood, and other acid fume hood. Each of them is equipped with a water, machine gun, and related chemical waste container. We provided the chemicals in the cabinet underneath the fume hood, including HF, BOE, nano-strip, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, and phosphoric acid. In this lab, we also provide a microscope for our clean users to check the surface of the etch process. During COVID-19, we have some special safety rules for clean work, including 2 users maximum in each working area. Users need to wear the face mask and reserve the lab space and before they work inside it. And also clean the working area before and after the process. Keep the safe distance between each other. And now we will talk about the safety rules you need to follow when you work in this lab. Firstly, you need to find the cleaning supplies when you enter the lab. These supplies are inside the plastic bin on the production table. We provide 70% ethanol, clean wipes, and plastic wraps and for our users. The cleaning instructions is posted near the supplies bin. Please follow it to do the cleaning before and after your process. We need your help to keep our clean room safe and clean. Leave Lab 384, go through the hallway, we could go to Lab 359. Users need to attend the additional safety training to get access to this lab area. No matter you work with HFBOE, nano-strip, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, phosphoric acid, or other fab-approved acids or etchant. You could work with the different acids in different fume hood here. We provide the chemicals with containers and safety PPE for our users. And now we will talk about the facilities one by one in details. Let's start from HFBOE fume hood. This fume hood is for users to remove native oxide layer from silicon sample, etch silicon dioxide, silicon nitride, or other oxides with HF-BOE chemicals, or do some metal etch process with HF-containing etchant. If you need to work with this chemical, please send email to me firstly. I will send you the training instructions, including the online safety training and in-person safety training. I will also send you the SOP of HF-BOE process, SDS of HF, and BOE. You need to carefully read these materials before your usage in lab. The first and most important thing to check the flow meter of this fume hood. Make sure the green light is turned on, no red light, no alarm. If you hear the alarm, please leave cleanroom, report to staff. And next, please wear acid-resistant PPE, including the blue boots, apron, face shield, and acid gloves. Please remember to double-check them before you wear them, and wipe down the face shield with a 70% ethanol and wipes prior to your usage. And you could find this PPE from supplies rack near the emergencies of 359. So staff will regularly check them and replace them, and make sure our user can have the clean items for their chemical work in cleanroom. HF-BOE waste container is located in the right corner of this hood, and HF neutralizer bottle is located in the left corner of this hood. Chemicals are stored in the cabinet underneath the fume hood. Left are HF, right are BOE. Water switch are nano switch, white for dear water, and green for cold water. You need to open close manually by yourself. And here we also have nitrogen gun and help blow your sample to dry and after wet etch process. Next to the HF fume hood is the nano-strip fume hood. The nano-strip is a commercial version of the Piranha. It could help to remove organic materials and also some type of the inorganic materials from your sample surface. It's a good stripper to clean your sample surface. And if you need to work with the nano-strip, you still need additional safety training. Please send email to me, so I will send you the training procedure, and also will send you this SOP and SDS. You need to read these materials firstly, and then contact me, and we need to do one process inside the lab and for your in-person training. And then you can have the access to this nano-strip fume hood. You also need to wear the safety PPE for this process, like you need to wear the acid boots, apron, face shield, and acid gloves, and check them before you wear them. Make sure no residue, no liquid inside it. And also during COVID-19, you still need to use a wipe with a 70% ethanol, clean the inside of the face shield before you wear them. And also for the gloves, remember to use a nitrogen gun to check it, make sure there's no leaks in the fingers. And there have the 1 or 2 inch curve. So this will prevent the liquid is running down directly to your cleanroom gun. It will inside that curve. And when you finish your work, remember to rinse your glove, dry the glove, take it off, and then take off your face shield, take off the apron, take off the booties, and put them back to the supplies rack where you get them. For the nano-strip fume hood, waste container is inside it, which is in the right corner. Left corner is the acid neutralizer bottle. The chemical bottle for the nano-strip is installed in the cabinet, which is underneath the fume hood. Left side, we have the one for the water switch, one for the cold water switch. The right side, we have the flow meter. Make sure have the green light, no red light, no alarm. We also equipped with a nitrogen gun, blow your sample to dry after your process. We also have other acid fume hood in this lab. We have funnels in the fume hood help user to transfer the chemical waste. The left corner is acid neutralizer bottle to deal with the chemical spill. We have the chemical bottle with containers inside the cabinet, which is underneath the fume hood with those labels. The left side have the switch for the water and cold water. Right side, we have the flow meter. Make sure have the green light. We also have a nitrogen gun help user to blow their sample to dry. You can work with hydrochloric acid, phosphoric acid, and nitric acid inside this fume hood. You still need additional safety training and for you to get access to this fume hood. Here we have 2 supplies rack for the acid work, And this is number 1. We provide the user with gloves, booties, face shield, and apron, and for your acid work. They also have some wipes and regular gloves and baskets help you deal with some of the cleaning and deal with some of the chemical spill. On top of the supplies rack, here have the HF treatment kit. Inside it, we have the HF, BOE, SDS, safety documents, and the cacking gel. If you have skin contact with HF, after you rinse water, and then you need to apply the cacking gel on that area. Bring that tube with you before you see the doctor. Every 15 minutes, you need to reapply it again. And here's the number 2 supplies rack. They also have the booties, apron, face shield, and gloves so you acid work. Also have the baskets help you deal with the cleaning and the chemical spill. On the bottom shelf, there have the hot plate. If you need to heat up some chemical, you can use this one. And here have the 2 rub containers. So if you need to transport any bottles inside the clean room lab, and you can use this one to transport them. On the side of the fume hood, there have some reminder signs, and make sure you always follow that procedures for your work. On this person table, here have the microscope. You can use this one to check your patterns after your etch work. Around this table, we also have some of the non-chemical waste container, like this one is the regular trash can. And underneath this table, we also have the wafer container and the shape container. And for to work with this acid, you need to always log your information on this logbook for you to use these chemicals. Here have this chemical use label, and for you to use if you need to leave the beaker with chemical inside the fume hood. And here is another supplies rack provided the regular gloves, provided large wipe, small wipe for you to work with. And here also have the several cabinet. This one to store some of the user supplied the HF, and also some HF, nitric acid, the chemical waste bottles inside it. And this cabinet for staff to store new chemical inside it, and also same for this cabinet. And this one we store some HF BOE beakers and also the sample dipper and wafer dipper inside it for the user to work with. And here have another cabinet for user to store the user supplied the chemicals. User supplied the chemical waste container inside it. And besides this one, we also have some safety equipment. On top of this supplies rack, we have the first aid kit. And in this corner, we have the IO station and also safety shower. And here also have the emergencies in this room. So if there have any emergency, and you can leave this lab from this side. And here also have a fire extinguisher near the door. And the pusher bar, and you can leave the clean room. Metal etching bay, lab 37 walkthrough. Next, we will talk about lab 387. This lab is mainly for the metal etch process and UV exposure, including the metal etch and fume hood, deep UV expose unit, UV flux pulse unit, and microscope. This fume hood is also equipped with the DA water, nitrogen gun, related chemical and chemical waste container, and the user also need to attend additional safety training to get access to this fume hood. We provided the chemicals in the cabinet, which is underneath the fume hood, which including the copper etchant, the C100, chromium etchant, 9057, gold etchant, TFA, and iron oxide etchant, 9028. There have this reference etching rate for those chemicals, so you can use this as a starting point and for your etching process. And if you want to etch other metals, you can also ask me. So there have some etchant, so like the gold etchant can also etch the silver, can also etch the nickel, but with a different etching rate. So I can help you to check the documents and give you suggestions on your metal etching process. So here's microscope in the 3D7. So you can use this microscope, check your surface, check your patterns after the etch process. During the COVID-19, we also have the same special safety rules for this lab, including the maximum 2 users work inside it, wear the face mask, reserve the lab space, and also clean the working area before and after process, and keep the safe distance between each other. Now we will talk about the safety rules you need to follow when you work in this lab. Leave lab 3D8, go through the hallway. We could go to lab 3D7. Users need to attend additional safety training to get access to the metal etchant film hood. Users, firstly, you need to find the cleaning supplies and when you enter the lab. And these supplies are inside the plastic bin on the production table, which we provide 70% ethanol and a cleaning wipe, and also the plastic wrap for our users. The cleaning instructions are also posted here near supplies bin, and please follow it to do the cleaning before and after process. And then we will talk about the facility one by one in details. Let's start from the metal etching film hood. This film hood is for users to etch metals or make the iron oxide photomasks. If you need to work with chemicals, please send email to me firstly. I will set you SOP and SDS. You need to carefully read these materials and then contact staff for attend the in-person training. This site also reminds the user to wear additional safety PPE for this hood usage. The first and most important thing to check the flow meter of this hood, make sure green light turned on, no red light, no alarm. The chemicals and waste containers are stored in cabinet, which is underneath the film hood. You could check the labels here for details. The chromium and iron oxide etchant and waste container are stored in the right cabinet. We open the door. The front is chemical bottle, back one is waste container. Gold and copper etchant and waste container are stored in the left cabinet. And if these chemical bottles are empty or the waste containers are full, and you could find the backup chemical bottle or the waste container in the blue corrosive cabinet, which are near this film hood. Top cabinet, we have the copper gold etchant and their waste containers inside it. Bottom one, and we have the chromium and iron oxide etchant and their waste containers inside it. And if you need to rinse your beaker or sample with DI water, the switch for DI water is on the left side of this film hood. After you click this switch, the DI water will run in for 30 seconds, stop automatically. You could rotate here to control the water flow, make sure not to splash everywhere during your cleaning. And there's a funnel in the right corner, help you transfer waste to the waste container. Left corner here is an acid neutralizer, which you could use to deal with the chemical spill inside the hood. Here are the details about how to use this liquid acid neutralizer to treat the chemical spill inside the metal etchant film hood. Firstly, you need to warn other users in the lab and do not touch that area. And you need to wear the appropriate safety PPE, including like the face shield, apron, gloves, and boots. And also you need to using some offset pad. You can get those materials from the chemical spill response kit in the hallway. And slowly to spring or pull acid neutralizer to your chemical spill, and you may find the color will change from purple to yellow. So that means it's during the neutralization. And then you need to apply it a little more until the color change is go to the reddish color. And then you need to allow that the neutralized liquid to cool. and soak up with this liquid with uploaded materials, and put these materials into the yellow bag or into any the heavy duty bag, and then use the water, rinse the surface and wipe it down, and put all these materials also into that yellow bag or that heavy duty bag, and tie it up and put it to the back of the metal etchant fume hood, and then report to staff, and staff to help you to dispose it through the DRS. If there has a large chemical spill in the fume hood, you are not comfortable to deal with it, you can contact the staff and let staff help you to deal with that the chemical spill. But do not to hide that chemical spill. It may cause someone's injuries due to your spill. Here, nitrogen gun could be used for drying your sample. If you need to use a hot plate, and you could put your hot plate inside it, and plug your hot plate here for your process. We also provide the microscope in this lab. You could check your patterns on the surface of the metal etch process. For this lab, we have the same safety rules for disposing of your non-chemical waste as these rules in the lab 388. Here is a regular trash can near the table. The 2-gallon red sharp container and the white wafer container are underneath the table. You could dispose your sharps or the wafers inside it. For another side, we have the UV flux pulse unit. This tool is equipped with a 365 nanometers UV cells. Could be used for exposing the large wafer. Because for our regular mask liner, you can expose a 3-inch area, and this one can expose a larger size. Before you load your sample, make sure shutter is closed. Open the yellow cover, put your sample on this Teflon holder, put yellow cover back, open the shutter, use your timer for your process. There's no timer attached with this tool. When it's finished, close the shutter firstly and open the yellow cover to get your sample out. Here is a small microscope. You could place your samples here and check it through here. And this is for light. Some user may use it to treat the sample surface. And make sure to turn the light off before you leave this lab. And this one is a deep UV exposed unit. It is equipped with a 220 nanometers UV cells. Before you load your sample, you also need to make sure the UV is off. And make sure you open the cover, put your sample on this holder, load it inside, and then put the cover back, and turn the UV on, and then use your own timer for your process. There's also no timer attached with this tool. And when your exposure is completed, turn the UV off, open the cover, get your sample out. And the supplies rack for this lab is here, near the door. And here we have the small, medium, large, extra large gloves. You can replace it here. And the upper shelf have the large wipe, have small wipe. And the backup bags for these wipes, you can refill by yourself. And when you need to work with the metal etchant, we provide the acid PPE, including the gloves, the face shield, the apron, booties. And here's also chemical use label and the batch squeezer. And here are several chemical cabinets with this side. It is usually for staff to store the new chemicals inside it. Do not directly get the chemicals from the cabinet with this side. And same for this cabinet. And this area with the green line is for the staff to make the photo mask. Users are not allowed to work inside it. For the safety equipment, we provided the first aid kit on top of the shelf of the supplies. And we have the fire extinguisher near the door. Next to it is a safety eye wash station and eye wash shower. We have the same safety rules for them as this in the lab 384. Hallway of the MicroFab cleanroom. Between the process labs, there's a hallway of the cleanroom. There are 4 storage shelves. Users can store their personal atoms on these shelves. So they can store their beakers, their samples, their tweezers. Just remember, do not store any chemical on these shelves. And also set your information on those logbook. And there are 2 of these yellow spill response kit. So there have those atoms. We could deal with some chemical spill happen inside the clean room. There are 2 emergencies. So if there have fire, if you smell some of the gas leak, if there have the major chemical spill outside the fume hood, have the physical injury, have the medical emergency, or there's loss of the fume hood exhaust, or other emergencies. So you could stop what you are doing, and you do not need to remove your clean gun, and you can immediately go to this emergency and leave the clean room. And if possible, and you can warn others who is working inside the clean room near you. And when you go to the safety area, you can take off your clean gun and then report this. And they also have 1 broken glass container. If you have like the broken beakers or broken glass where no chemical contamination there, you can dispose your broken glass here. Now we will talk about this in details. We have 3 emergencies in our clean room. 2 of them are in the hallway. 1 in this side, and another 1 in this side. If there's a fire alarm in our building, it will flash here and has alarm. When it happens or other emergency situations happen, please stop your process. No need to take off your clean gun. Quickly go to the nearest emergency, push a bar, leave clean room, follow this side to find the door to the stairs, leave our building. There may have the alarm when you push a bar. Do not care about it during the emergency. This is just a reminder that you know that it not a regular exist. This is the spill response kit. We have 2 of them in the hallway of our clean room. We have these items inside it, including the broom, dustpan, PPE to treat the spill, testing strips, test the unknown chemicals, backup neutralizer, spill bags, and also the pads to treat the chemical spill, and the backup HF first aid items, capping the gel inside it. This is broken glass container. If you have any broken beaker or other glassware without any contamination, you could dispose it here. We also post a reminder sign here. Remember not directly use your hand to touch them. You can use the laptop, the brooms, and dustpan, collect those broken pieces, dispose it here. And this is another spill response kit in our clean room. Besides the safety equipment, we also provide the 4 storage shelves here for our users. So this shelf number 1, shelf number 2, shelf number 3, and shelf number 4. Users could use these shelves to store their non-chemical lab atoms, including the beakers, samples, photo masks, tweezers, timer, or other lab atoms. It will be more easier for your work here. You don't need to bring them every time you go to the lab for your work. And if you need this space, and please read the policy carefully and choose which shelf, which space you need. Log your information on this paper logbook. And which including your use ID, your name, and also what atoms inside your toolbox or inside your plastic bin. And then you could store your atoms here. and you can store them in your plastic bin or in your toolbox. Just remember, do not use other people's items if you did not get their permission, and do not store any chemicals here. All the chemical need to store inside the lab in the cabinet, and do not lock your toolbox. After you completed all your cleanroom work, you could follow these procedures here to store your cleanroom gun in the gunning area. Firstly, we take off the safety glasses and put it here. Next, we take off our hood. And then we take off the booties. Because the booties may have some residues from the floor, so we separately store it in the Ziploc bag. And then we use a clip and put it to the hair here. So this will prevent contamination transfer from your booties and to your other cleanroom gun. And we take off the second pair of gloves. And now we are ready to take off this coverall. So this one we could put it on first, and then remember to zip it up, make sure it will not drop off. And then you could grab it and put it back to the numbers, which is to store your cleanroom gun. So my number is number 1 here, so I put it back to number 1, and I still can get it there next time for my cleanroom work. And after you store your cleanroom gun there, and you need to log out here with your user ID, your password. So we input the user ID here, we input the password here. This time we need to click Sign Out. And you can find your information will be removed from this list here. And if that computer is not working, and you could write down your information on the paper logbook here also. And in this plastic bin, we have 2 binders. One for this hair reservation setup sheet. So if you are the first time in the cleanroom for your work, and you need to reserve a number to store your cleanroom gun. And write down your user ID, your name on this setup sheet. So we have 4 racks in the gunning area to store our cleanroom gun. In this area, we have number from number 1 to number 109. And for another 2 racks, we have the number from the 110 to the 217. So you could check which one is empty, is available, and you could write down your information for that number and grab the hair from this number to store your cleanroom gun there. And we also have this cleanroom lab safety plan notebook. So here we have the information for these universities, the safety plan, the COVID-19 special safety plan, and also have this building safety contacts, this room safety contacts, the copy of the SES, the emergency plan, and a copy of the SOP of the cleanroom usage. So if you want to find those information, you can always find them from these binders here. And also you need to swipe your iCard and open door to leave the cleanroom. If you do not swipe your iCard, directly open it, you will hear this alarm. And also remember, remove your gloves, remove your blue booties. Remember to wash your hands after you remove your gloves. If you have any questions about the clean room, including the chemical safety, the equipment operation, process development, or any concerns, welcome to contact me by email, call my office phone number, or go to my office, talk with me. So I will be here, help you on the machine's operation and also on your process development.